G'day, mate.
Good day, mates.
Hello, it's Amy and Jeff. And
In the country down under.
that's right. We made it all the way to the bottom.
Yep.
Wow, it took a little doing to get there, though.
Yes, it did. I think when we last talked, we had huge storm seas, waves of over 14 feet, and our stop in Tasmania was canceled. We were sitting outside the port waiting for the pilot captain to come on, and they notified our captain that they closed the port.
Yeah.
We're going to let us land.
Those crazy Americans got to stay away.
So after some going around, we found out we couldn't hit our second stop in Eden, Australia,
Because they didn't have immigration there.
to handle our boat.
So we
Clear the
lost,
boat.
yeah, so we lost 2 ports in the span of one morning,
Yeah, We
which
ended up-
added 2 more sea days,
for 5 in a row. And a lot of
5
people-
sea days in a row. Yes.
Yes, and some people were not taking the waves well. We did okay.
We did fine. Yes, it was almost fun, I thought, but, you know.
Seeing people lurch from one side of the hall to the other when a boat tipped.
But, yeah, the span from Tasmania up to Sydney wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
It was just, everybody was tired of being at sea by that point. So we were sailing into Sydney Harbor about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, everybody was above. Everybody was on the top deck or the middle, looking out. They were all so excited to see dry land.
Yeah.
We're getting off, yay.
But the winds were blowing 35 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh.
People were trying to hold on to the rail and take photos.
My
pretty
my
funny.
retinas, I was like, if I had contact lenses, 100% they would have blown out. But yeah, my retinas, my eyes were getting tired from the wind on them. But yes,
Yep.
But it was beautiful sailing in. It was a little overcast, but we got to see the Sydney Opera House up close and personal.
Yep.
That was beautiful. And the Harbor Bridge, we went right underneath it. So that was very cool. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So we finally made it to Sydney. A whole day earlier, 2 days earlier.
One day earlier.
Okay, than we were supposed to. Yeah, but we got there. It was fun. Immediately everyone got off.
Yes. Well, we had to get off.
Oh, that's
Clear.
true. That's
to
true.
clear immigrations, we had to have 0 count, which means every passenger had to get off. You had to do a passport check, turn in your immigration card, and once they cleared everybody, people that didn't want to do anything could go back on the boat.
Yeah.
So as soon as we got cleared, there were 6 of us,
Mm-hmm.
and we found a local pub about a 20-minute walk,
Yeah.
and
It
went
was
up
a
in
good
the
mile
area.
away. Yeah. Up a little bit of a hill. But it was very neighborhoody.
Yes, the
Nothing
neighborhood
fancy.
of Balmain,
Yeah. Balmain.
which was originally the working man's part
Exactly.
of town.
There were 2 young men working in there that just didn't know what hit them when we arrived. So
Well, so much for the famed Aussie nightlife. The kitchen was closing at 8:30.
it was a Wednesday night. So
Still. I've lost my train of thought.
Wow. The young men were very nice. They were helping us pick out our beers, because we're not familiar with beer, and just to note that ketchup in Australia is called tomato sauce.
Right.
So yes, the special that night was chicken schnitzel. So a couple of you got chicken schnitzel,
We did.
and I had chicken bites, which were I was expecting like chicken nuggets. And yeah, they were like bits of pulled chicken, flash fried, and with no crust on them, hardly. It was unusual, yes. And hot chips. So I asked for my hot chips to not be spicy, which meant they were French fries with tomato sauce. So yeah, but yeah, we made it. We walked. We got a hat. We didn't get a hat. Our group
Well,
got
you
a
got
hat.
a hat, but you
I didn't want it. Yeah.
They only had one spot.
Exactly. So they were sweet. They gave us a Wi-Fi code, which didn't work really well, so I wasn't able to upload the videos until the next morning, but that was okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we were just glad to be on dry land and walking around and looking at the, just looking at the neighborhood as we walked past it. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
All right.
Next morning,
we
we didn't have to sky up.
No.
Yeah, we had the morning free. We didn't really do anything.
till afternoon.
Exactly. Caught up on laundry, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then,
But then we did and it wasn't a bad bus tour. The guy drove us through all the various neighborhoods in downtown Sydney, starting where we were, obviously, Balmore, where a home might start for $450,000, $500,000 US. Or unless you had a water view, then it went up. And we went from the local neighborhoods into the Ritzies, where homes were starting anywhere from $3 million up.
Yeah.
Like the house we saw, Russell Crowe, the Gladiator. But the drive was good, and where does our next stop after the orientation?
World famous Bondi Beach.
Bondi
Beach. Yes. And it is a beautiful beach.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. The sand was pristine. It almost looked as though it was purchased and brought in because it was so nice. The beach itself, a couple hundred yards long. Not the biggest beach I've ever seen. It was kind of in a horseshoe.
Yep.
And I was looking for the pool because I don't know if you've ever seen on YouTube or on the internet. The pool at Bondi Beach is right on the rocks, and sometimes the waves crash up against the rocks and go right into the pool, which I think would be really cool.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
I got close enough to see it from a distance. We didn't have a lot of time, and
we did get our feet in the water, and it was cold.
And it was a long way from the start of the beach down to the water. I mean, it was probably 100 yards.
Oh, okay.
Or more?
Probably more, yes.
Okay.
I thought when you were saying 100 to 200, that was the depth of the beach.
Yeah.
The beach is way more than a couple hundred yards.
Was it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It just was in a horseshoe, so maybe optically it looked less.
Yep.
Okay.
But the sand was nice and white.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was fun at least sticking our feet in the water.
Greedo got his picture taken a couple times. Yep.
When the sun's out.
The buns are out. So, yes, Greedo got a picture with his buns out.
Exactly.
After that, piled back on the bus and headed to our cruise in the Inner Harbor.
It was so where we were was the Sydney waterfront, but particular Darling Pier.
Darling? Yeah.
Darling Wharf. And so we get there, we're ready for our coastal tour, and our boat wasn't there.
They left without us.
Yeah.
Imagine.
So, some calls back, things got straightened out. They had to turn the ship around, come back and get us. Now, there were nearly 40 people on the tour, and when the boat came back, there was 15 people on it. And half of them got off because they didn't know what was going on.
They wanted to. They made them get back on.
No, some of them got off.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But the people that were with Oceana had to stay on for the full tour. Yes.
Yeah, so they really just took us all the places we had already seen when we cruised in on the cruise ship. So it was a little bit of a letdown for me.
Well, the weather was better.
It was. And Jeff got some more pictures of the Opera House and the I did. and the bridge. So that was very cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing, one of the couples that we've been hanging out with, they went to the pub, he did the bridge climb. So these people got to walk up the arch span of the bridge, and at the mid-arch they crossed over, came down the other side. So they were all tethered in like a safety suit. You couldn't carry anything, rings,
Earrings.
Wallets, not even earring.
No phones.
No phones.
No phones.
Anything
Because-
heavy, it could fall off and crash.
Yeah, because you'd certainly cause a huge crash
Yeah.
down on the bridge below. I was jealous. I should have done it. I was thinking about it. I was afraid that would be too much work.
Ah.
And, yeah.
So that was kind of it.
Oh, we've got about Woolloos.
Ah. Wool.
Blue.
Moo.
Loo.
Yes.
Woolloos, which are
Rowdy little teenage kangaroos.
male kangaroos.
Male kangaroos.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
They
yes.
can be aggressive and
Yeah.
everything.
So it was a fun word. So we
Yes.
try and use it where we can. We saw it on a street sign. So yes, our guide told us all about Woolloos. I said it right.
You did. Okay.
So that was that day. So Bundy Beach and the harbor. The next day we did have to sky up.
Yes.
Yeah,
We had a 1.5 mile ride.
hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. Did I say mile and a
You
half?
said mile. It was an hour
It
and
was
a
an
half.
hour and a half. Ride out to the bush, as they call it, which for them is just a forest.
Or non-city. Anything that's
Non-city.
non-city
Yeah.
is the bush.
Faraway suburbs is the
Yeah.
bush.
I looked like a proper Sheila. I had my big hat and little coats and yeah, I was ready.
But the ride out was beautiful,
Yes.
and they call them the Blue Mountains, very similar to the Blue Ridge. The light and the haze cast a real pale blue
And a
over
lot
all
of-
the mountains.
Right, and a lot of eucalyptus trees that evidently put off some kind of chemical mist.
Really?
That's what he said.
Ah, I
You didn't hear that?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. Well, the Blue Mountains are pretty famous. I'd never heard of them before, but evidently twice the size of the Grand Canyon.
Yes. The canyon itself.
Yeah. Beautiful. They do a good job of showing you all of it, or making all of it accessible. So the first thing you do is ride this big cable car across a spans, and you overlook this enormous waterfall that, yeah, it's hard to even take in when you're above it, because you got to lean way over. It was a little scary.
Yes.
But beautiful waterfall, yes. So we get over to the other side, we're looking, yeah. And then you got to go back to where you started,
To do the world's steepest railroad.
even steeper than the one in Pittsburgh, supposedly. My son does not agree, but
Well, the length was maybe 300 meters, but the vertical drop was 600 meters.
yeah. And it was like riding a roller coaster. It was very fun. We were on a car with a lot of Asian tourists, and we were all screaming. I was a little disappointed there were windows on our car, so, to keep you, keep everybody intact, put your arms out, that kind of thing. The old-timey ones didn't have windows, so I was kind of hoping for that, but no go.
This is the new safety one.
Exactly. So it took us down to the forest floor-ish, and we walked around in the rainforest, and and we saw a lyrebird,
Yes.
Which-
Lyre.
not Liar. Yes.
But they're like a mimic.
Yeah.
They absorb all the songs of the birds around them and then compose their own.
We heard this bird for a long time before we saw him. He sounded like he was overhead, so we're scanning the trees trying to find him. We were standing there for a few minutes, and a lady found him and showed us where he was, and he was
Down closer to the
yes,
ground.
exactly. So his song is gorgeous. I
You
was
have
expecting.
a recording, don't you?
I do. We'll have it on. So
Yes.
moment of silence for the recording.
Okay.
Anyway, so the recording made him sound like he must be this most beautiful bird. But when we
He
saw
looked
him,
like a little turkey buzzard.
yeah, he was very
Pretty
plain. He was big though.
Yes.
So so we saw the lyrebird, which was exciting because we had heard a folklore about him on the bus, and the three sisters, and how he was an Aboriginal chief that had magic, and he had a magic bone, and he turned his daughters into stone to protect them, and
from the evil force that was coming after him.
Right, and then he turned himself into a lyrebird, and then dropped the bone. So now the lyrebird is looking all over for the bone to turn his daughters back into humans.
Yes.
So that was the legend of the three sisters, which we got to see, the three sisters. So there's three rock formations that are gorgeous. So, show picture now. That's them. Yes. When we first got there, it was pretty misty. We could only see one of them. But as the day progressed, we got them all.
We got all three.
Mm-hmm. So then after we're finished with we were at the bottom, we finished our hike, then we had to ride a little coggy stand-up car up to the top of the mountain again, which was full.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, it was full. It was fine. Yeah. And then we
came back for a typical day.
Well, yeah, we had lunch, right, at that little town.
No, that was Newcastle.
No, we
on the way back.
Laura. We were at Laura.
Laura.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had lunch there. Did a little shopping. It was a cutie little town.
Yes. Got a photo.
Yeah. Might be a good place to live if you're moving to Australia, if you don't want to live in the city. Temperate, nice temperatures.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was Blue Mountain Day. I know, it sounds so exciting when we tell it.
Well, it's way better live than we can describe it.
Exactly. And then the next day, which was yesterday, we woke up in Newcastle.
Yep. Second most populous city
in
Australia.
No, in New South Wales.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, it's a working man's town. Or was at one time. A lot of coal mining.
Coal mining.
Yes, a lot of coal mining.
And a steel mill.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still exporting
lots of
millions of tons of coal a year.
To China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit to Japan.
Sure. But we signed up for, guess what?
Wine tasting.
Wine tasting, because it's Australia, and we haven't tasted an Australian wine. I have to say, I think I like New Zealand wine better than Australian wine. At least the ones that we tasted. But we did buy quite a bit. So, the first place we went to was a cheese tasting. It was cheese.
Yes.
And they did have beautiful cheese. So we got some cheddar and some brie and crackers so that we can host our own little, happy hour if we want to. And then we got in the bus, we buckled up, because you have to buckle up in Australia if you're in a bus, and we rode about
5 minutes.
Not even. 2 minutes.
We just went
out a driveway.
One parking lot, up and right back in.
Into the next driveway. Hey, we could have walked.
We would have been there quicker.
Exactly. They did have a lovely tasting room.
Oh, yes.
Wide open.
Nice looking restaurant.
They were busy too, but they were on it. Yes. I mean, we got 4 tastings there. Yeah, it was more.
6.
Yeah.
4 whites, 2 reds.
Exactly. Wasn't my favorite wine ever. It was fine.
It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, served way too cold.
Yes, we were warming it up with our hands. We did buy a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yes.
And after we warmed it up, and it was
good.
It was fine. It was great. Then we went to a different place called Tulak.
Okay. And on the way to Tulak, we saw free-range kangaroos.
In the wild.
Yeah. Probably, sort of in the wild. They apparently like golf courses.
They like the manicured grass, I think.
So we saw probably 12 to 18 various little clumps.
Scattered, yeah, little clumps. It wasn't
they weren't clumps. They were mobs.
Mobs.
So apparently, yes,
a mob of kangaroo. A bunch is called a mob. Okay.
Yes.
They, yeah, mostly just laying around. A couple were sitting upright. I saw a couple in the grass where I could just see their ears around the top. It was really cute.
And what were the little ones?
The smaller species of. There's a word for them, but or wallabies. Wallabies. Yes. So we're not sure if we saw kangaroos or wallabies.
Well, the ones that are standing up real tall and were big were the kangaroos.
Yeah.
The ones that were down there munching real close and smaller were the wallabies.
Or they were Woolloomoos. Woolloomooloos.
I don't think so.
Anyway, yes. So it was real fun to see them, but they were going by so fast on the bus that we didn't get a chance to take a picture of any of them. So we do have an excursion coming up where I'm hoping that we'll be able to get some pictures.
Yes.
So it's the most exciting thing ever, and I just was so thrilled that I saw kangaroos in the wild. I mean, I know it's in the bush. It just so we were at happy hour last night, and I told the waitresses and the bartender, I said, today I saw kangaroos in the wild. They were so jealous. They were so jealous.
Yep.
You did? Oh man, we had to work all day.
Yep. Should we
Poor
talk
people.
about Tuluk?
Yes. So the last place we went was Tuluk. Their tasting room wasn't as nice. We were inside. The acoustics were troublesome, but boy, the wine's good.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, that's what matters.
I think we got 10 bottles.
Our guide from Tuluk, the one that was telling us about the wine, during the week she's a school teacher, so she said, I'm not messing around with you. I'm going to treat you just like I do my students. When I hold up my fingers 3 and I say 3, you have till the count of 1 to shut your mouth. And she did, and we did.
Until one of the last tastings.
Well, we were quiet at 3, and by the last tasting, it took us to get to 1 to be quiet because we knew we had a little bit of time. But the first thing they gave us to taste was their sparkling, which we bought. It was only less than $20 a bottle, American.
Yeah.
So for us, that was a bargain. We're not finding any Costco $9.99 sparkling. Yes. So we got a couple bottles for our morning mimosas, which we love. So we ordered juice from room service and then supplement our own sparkling. So yes, we're in good supply again.
So we got to taste a number of whites, but the reds were surprisingly good. Mm-hmm. So what else would we say? It's Shiraz, what else can you say?
Yeah, it was Shiraz. It was good Shiraz.
Also known as Hermitage, except the French started beating on them, and they couldn't use the word Hermitage anymore.
Yeah. I tend to think of Shiraz as being a little more bold and fancy, or fanciful, or active in your mouth.
Yep.
I could be wrong, Joe. You tell me, but this was pretty smooth and just really lovely. So we got 2 bottles of that as well. Then they had their version of a tawny port, which if you want to sell something to Jeff Nancy, if you want to sell something to Jeff,
we're going to bleep that.
Yeah, just tell them about that you got a tawny. Oh yeah, we got one. And it'll be good for after dinner, just sipping.
Oh, absolutely.
Not going to make it home because we're going to.
Probably not.
Yeah. We'll have other opportunities to get beautiful port. Yeah. So, but it'll be good to have. And then they also had a couple other dessert wines. Yes. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Sucker for anything in a bottle like this, by the way. So yeah.
So it is a fortified wine as well, and it was made with the Verdejo grape.
Okay.
Out in Portugal. But it was the year they had the big bushfires, 2014. And so they were able to take this smoky grapes, they clarified them somehow with egg, yolks or something. And the result is this bottle called Mistura that we had a little sample of it. It does have a smoky flavor to it, almost like a scotch, but it is a fortified wine.
I got a lot of raisin notes in it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, not unlike the wine in the north of Portugal that we get. What is that called?
Well, this is.
Oh, it's very like that. But, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Portuguese. And so they made it after that and named it after the Portuguese grape. So, now there's one other funny thing in Australia is they measure their bottles in something called standard drinks. So this bottle is 6.9 standard drinks.
Oh my! Those are good pours.
Yeah, and
how many's in the sparkling?
This is 7.1 standard drinks.
Oh, I don't know. But they're the same size? They're both 750 ml?
No.
Isn't that
This
one
is smaller.
750?
Yeah. This is 500. That's why it's the little baby bottle.
Baby bottle.
Yep. So that was our wine adventure. Most people slept all the way back.
We did. I did.
I did. Next thing we know, we're pulling in back to the ship.
Yeah.
It was a good day. It was a long day.
It was. But yeah, we bought cheese, we bought wine, we're fully stocked. Came back and did laundry before everybody else thought of it.
Before trivia.
Because
everyone's probably down there these next 2 days. Sea days.
Trivia was, in the laundry room, yes. Yeah. So the laundry room gets a little aggressive. People are quite territorial over their machines and the ironing boards, and what are you gonna do? So I guess. So do we say good day, mate, to end?
I don't know. I guess so.
But before we do that, we do have to say that we have a postcard today.
We do. Where is it?
It's inside.
We'll cut it a photograph.
Yeah. I'll put a photo in here. So
who gets it today?
It's one of my old colleagues from the place I retired from a few years ago, Monica in Maryland. So Monica, thank you so much for watching. I'm excited. I'm hoping some of my other colleagues are watching.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. So that postcard's on its way to you. And if you would like a postcard, please let us know. Send us
an email.
Yeah.
At where?
postcardtoday@gmail.com. Yep. And I guess that's all for now.
Yep. Aloha.
Okay. We're at sea for 2 days again, and then we'll be landing in Townsend, Australia.
Yes. And then Cairns.
And then Cairns.
Then we strike off through Indonesia.
Don't give too much away.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. And in Cairns is the home of the Great Barrier Reef. So very exciting. I hope we have some good videos from my dive there and Jeff is snorkeling. And so we'll catch you on the flip side.
All righty.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good day, mates.